Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins when a new kingdom-wide review system begins rating dungeons like tavern meals, and the line between adventure and reputation begins to blur. But when identical reviews start appearing across unrelated dungeons, what began as harmless opinion quickly becomes something far more calculated and far more dangerous. Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Season 2, Episode 23. The Dungeon Review Board, Part 1. Morning sunlight filtered through the tavern windows, casting warm golden beams across the common room. The scent of fresh coffee, baked pastries, and toasted bread drifted through the air as customers chatted quietly over breakfast. Behind the counter, Java carefully sorted supplies while Nyved lounged nearby with a mug of warm spiced cider. Patches reviewed inventory notes at a corner table, and Braticus sat proudly with an unusually thick pamphlet spread open before him. Fate's Skuld occupied her usual seat near the hearth, watching the room with a calm expression. Snooks sat in a specially modified treasure chest high chair near the counter, surrounded by wooden toys, a half-chewed cloth, and the remains of a pastry he had already investigated thoroughly.
Friends, companions, and fellow seekers of wisdom, behold.
That usually means trouble.
Or paperwork.
Far greater than paperwork. This is the latest edition of the Dungeon Review Board Gazette.
The what?
A revolutionary publication. Adventurers from across the kingdom now raid and review dungeons so others may make informed decisions before risking life and limb.
Adventurers need a publication to tell them whether a dungeon is dangerous.
Knowledge is power.
The giant skull carved above the entrance usually serves as a warning.
Let me see that.
Java accepted the pamphlet and flipped through several pages. His expression shifted from curiosity to confusion and then amusement.
This one gave a dungeon 1 star because the treasure chest attacked me.
Was it a mimic?
Yes. It says so right here.
Then the chest performed exactly as intended.
The reviewer's experience was nevertheless valid.
Being surprised by a mimic is the entire point of a mimic.
Who decides whether these reviews are trustworthy?
The collective wisdom of the publication's editorial team, I suppose.
That's not necessarily an answer that builds confidence.
Snooks perked up as the pamphlet changed hands. His bright eyes locked onto the colorful cover. He stretched both tiny forelimbs toward it and made an eager chirping noise.
You want to see it too?
Java lowered the pamphlet within reach. Snooks immediately grabbed the corner and attempted to chew on it.
That's not exactly reading.
It might improve the quality of some reviews.
Several customers chuckled. Snooks proudly continued his inspection of the pamphlet before becoming distracted by a drawing of a 5-pointed star printed near the top of the page.
Ah, yes. The rating system.
Braticus pointed to a row of stars.
1 star signifies disappointment. 5 stars signify excellence.
Snooks stared at the stars, then at Braticus, then back at the stars. He raised a claw and poked one repeatedly.
I think he's trying to count them.
Or eat them.
Snooks opened his mouth and attempted to bite the picture.
Definitely eat them.
The hatchling then noticed the pastry sitting beside his chair and immediately abandoned all interest in the stars.
And there goes his attention span.
A useful reminder.
About what?
That simple measures often attract more attention than deeper understanding.
Sounds like you're talking about the review board.
Perhaps.
Nonsense. This publication represents a new era of informed decision-making.
Based on a review from someone who complained that a mimic behaved like a mimic.
Every voice deserves to be heard.
Heard? Sure. But every voice also deserves to be examined.
Snooks happily munched on his pastry while the debate continued around him. The little dragon seemed entirely unconcerned with the merits of dungeon reviews, ratings, or public opinion. At least until Braticus turned another page and revealed even more stars. Snooks immediately looked up again, pastry forgotten for the second time that morning.
Well, this should be interesting.
That's one word for it.
Around the tavern, breakfast continued as normal, but the arrival of the Dungeon Review Board Gazette had already planted the seeds for a lively discussion, and perhaps far more trouble than anyone yet realized. A short time later, the breakfast rush had eased. Several customers lingered near the hearth while others occupied tables throughout the common room. The Dungeon Review Board Gazette had become the center of attention. Java carried the pamphlet to a larger table where the others gathered, while Snooks remained nearby in his treasure chest chair, now armed with a fresh pastry and a growing curiosity about whatever had everyone talking.
Alright, let's see what other wisdom the adventuring public has shared with the world.
Read carefully. These reviews should represent valuable experiences gathered from brave explorers across the kingdom.
I am already concerned.
Here's one. The Tomb of Eternal Shadows. 1 star. Dungeon was too dark.
It has the word shadows in the name.
That seems like an important clue.
Expectations and reality do not always align.
Apparently not.
Snooks tilted his head as several customers laughed. The hatchling looked around the room before joining in with a series of cheerful chirps despite having no idea what was funny.
Here's another. The Crypt of the Bone King. 2 stars. Skeletons were unfriendly.
I would certainly hope so.
Friendly skeletons would be far more alarming.
The reviewer must have desired a more welcoming atmosphere.
In a crypt.
Apparently.
Snooks clapped his small paws together as the laughter grew louder. Encouraged by the reaction, he clapped again.
I think we've created a tiny audience.
He's enjoying the entertainment.
Java turned another page.
5 stars. Treasure was shiny.
At last. An honest review.
Straightforward and concise.
I appreciate that they knew exactly what they wanted.
The mention of treasure immediately caught Snooks' attention. His eyes widened. He bounced excitedly in his seat and pointed toward the pamphlet.
Yes, treasure.
Snooks chirped happily.
That may be the most qualified review we've heard so far.
Let's keep going. The Caverns of Doom. 3 stars. Nearly died.
Nearly?
That's what it says.
Then the dungeon failed.
Failed?
If the purpose is to challenge adventurers, survival suggests the challenge was appropriate.
Most people consider surviving a positive outcome.
Most people are not dungeon designers.
Fate quietly sipped her tea while the discussion unfolded.
Satisfaction and success are often measured differently.
That sounds important.
It usually is.
Java flipped another page.
The Forgotten Vault. 3 stars. Skeletons appeared unmotivated.
Unmotivated?
What exactly was the reviewer expecting?
It doesn't elaborate.
Perhaps the skeletons lacked enthusiasm.
They are skeletons.
To be fair, I imagine morale is difficult to maintain after death.
The table erupted with laughter. Snooks immediately joined in with excited chirping and nearly dropped his pastry in the process.
Careful there.
Snooks recovered his prize and took an enormous bite.
Here is one that demonstrates the value of the system. 5 stars. Excellent traps. Very educational.
Educational?
It says the reviewer learned where not to stand.
That is technically education.
A painful form of education.
Several nearby customers began contributing reviews they had overheard from traveling adventurers.
I heard one reviewer gave a dungeon 1 star because the treasure was too heavy.
Someone else complained that a dragon was guarding the dragon's treasure.
That is literally the dragon's job.
The customer experience remains important.
Since when are adventurers customers?
Since someone started publishing ratings, apparently.
Snooks finished his pastry and looked hopefully toward the serving counter. His gaze moved from Java to the pastry display and back again.
Don't even think about it.
Snooks attempted his most innocent expression.
That face should be illegal.
It is surprisingly effective.
Snooks received a small biscuit as a reward for his efforts. He accepted it proudly and settled back into his chair.
Every system eventually shapes the behavior of those who use it.
Meaning?
Today people are reviewing dungeons. Tomorrow dungeons may begin changing themselves to earn better reviews.
The table grew quiet for a moment.
That's actually a disturbing thought.
Imagine a dungeon removing traps because they receive complaints.
Or adding more treasure displays to improve ratings.
Or hiring bards to improve the atmosphere.
We're joking, but I can absolutely see someone trying it.
As the group considered the implications, the tavern door suddenly swung open with enough force to rattle the nearby windows. Every head in the room turned toward the entrance.
Well, that doesn't look promising.
Standing in the doorway was a tall, broad-shouldered man wearing worn adventuring leathers beneath a heavy cloak. Dust covered his boots, and frustration was etched deeply across his face. He clutched a rolled stack of papers in one hand and scanned the room until his eyes locked onto the Gazette lying on the table.
Is that the Dungeon Review Board Gazette?
Yes. It is.
Then we need to talk.
The man marched toward the table. Several customers quietly shifted their chairs aside to give him room. He stopped beside the group and dropped the stack of papers onto the tabletop.
My livelihood is being destroyed by that thing.
Strong words.
Accurate words.
Why don't you have a seat and tell us what's going on?
The man pulled out a chair and sat heavily.
My name is Garrick. I operate the Caverns of the Iron Crown.
I've heard of it.
Then you've probably heard the reviews.
We may have just read one.
Then you've seen the problem.
What happened?
6 months ago my dungeon maintained a respectable rating. Adventurers visited regularly. Local merchants benefited. Inns stayed busy. Everyone made coin.
And now?
My rating dropped from 4.8 stars to 2.1.
That is unfortunate.
Unfortunate. I've had 3 adventuring parties cancel this week alone.
What are people complaining about?
Everything.
Such as,
Darkness.
it is a cave.
Exactly. Monsters.
It is a dungeon.
Exactly. Ancient curses.
Let me guess. It is an ancient dungeon.
Exactly.
Several nearby patrons chuckled.
They complain about narrow passages, hidden traps, aggressive monsters, uneven stone floors, and the lack of natural sunlight.
Natural sunlight?
We're underground.
I am beginning to sympathize with your situation.
Do you have examples of the reviews?
Garrick unrolled several papers and spread them across the table.
Read this one.
1 star. Dark and difficult to navigate.
That's because the torches were stolen.
Stolen?
By adventurers. Read the next one.
2 stars. Traps were dangerous.
I failed to identify the issue.
Those traps are clearly marked on every map sold at the entrance.
You sell maps?
Of course.
Did this reviewer buy one?
No, he did not.
Remarkable.
Snooks watched the increasingly animated conversation with fascination. His eyes moved from speaker to speaker as voices rose and fell around the table.
Here's another. 1 star. Encountered hostile goblins.
Were they hostile?
Yes, they're supposed to be hostile.
Ah. Fair point.
Snooks startled slightly as Garrick slapped the table for emphasis. The hatchling looked concerned for a moment. Garrick rubbed his forehead.
I've spent years building a reputation. Adventurers used to appreciate a challenge. Now they expect comfort.
Challenges aren't always enjoyable in the moment.
These are not supposed to be.
Yet many people remember difficult experiences more fondly than pleasant ones.
The review system may encourage immediate reactions rather than thoughtful reflection.
The worst part is that nobody visits anymore to form their own opinions.
That can become a problem.
Snooks studied Garrick for several moments. The dungeon keeper's frustration was obvious even to a hatchling. After a moment, Snooks reached beside himself and retrieved the sticky pastry he had been saving. He stretched as far as he could and offered it toward Garrick.
I think that's for you.
For me?
Snooks pushed the pastry forward again.
Looks that way.
Well, thank you, little one.
The dungeon keeper's expression softened for the first time since entering the tavern.
Congratulations. You just received a 5-star review from the most honest customer in the room.
Maybe there's hope for your rating yet.
If only pastries counted as reviews.
As the laughter settled, Patches gathered the scattered review pages and began examining them more closely. Several details caught her attention. Her expression slowly shifted from sympathy to curiosity.
That's strange.
What is?
These reviews were supposedly written by different adventurers.
Yeah. And?
They use exactly the same wording.
Patches held up 2 different review sheets. The table grew quiet.
Exactly the same?
Exactly.
Patches reached for another page.
And here's another one.
She frowned.
That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
Adventurers, travelers, and coffee lovers alike. Welcome to Dungeon Brew Coffee. Whether you crave the boldest brew, a magical chai, or a sweet spice cider, we've got something to fuel every quest. Sip it at home with our online blends, or catch us live at events across Virginia, and soon in West Virginia and North Carolina, as we bring the tavern experience straight to you. And here's a little extra loot for your journeys. Keep your lemonade cup and bring it back to any event we're at and save $1 on your refill. That's one more treasure for your pocket. So, whether you're chasing dragons or deadlines, make Dungeon Brew Coffee your first stop, because every great day begins with a magical cup in hand.
And now, back to our show. Patches spread the review sheets across the table. What had started as a conversation about poor ratings was beginning to look like something else entirely. Garrick leaned forward in his chair while Java and Nyved examined the papers from opposite sides of the table. Braticus adjusted his seat to gain a better view, and Fate Skuld quietly observed from her place near the hearth. Snooks remained focused on the growing collection of papers, fascinated by the movement of pages, fingers, and pointing claws.
What exactly are you seeing?
Look here.
Patches placed 2 reviews side by side.
Different names, different dates, same wording.
Poor visibility, excessive monster activity, and disappointing environmental conditions.
Who describes a dungeon as having disappointing environmental conditions?
Someone who expected a garden.
That is certainly unusual.
Now read this one.
Poor visibility, excessive monster activity, and disappointing environmental conditions.
Word for word.
Exactly.
Patches continued sorting through the pages.
Here's another.
Would not recommend for families.
It is a dungeon.
I would hope people do not bring their families.
Here's another identical one.
And another.
Garrick stared at the growing pile.
You're telling me multiple people left the exact same review?
Surely the review board has protections against such things.
You have remarkable faith in systems created by people,
Most systems are created by people.
which explains many of their flaws.
Snooks watched Patches move papers around the table. His eyes tracked every motion. Eventually, he climbed partway out of his chair and stretched toward the nearest sheet.
Careful.
Snooks grabbed the edge of one page and tugged it free from the pile.
Hey now.
Before anyone could stop him, Snooks dragged the page across the table and dropped it on top of another review.
Well, that's helpful.
Did he just organize evidence?
Patches blinked and picked up both pages.
Hold on. These were from 2 completely different dungeons.
Different dungeons?
Different regions, different owners, different complaints.
What's the connection?
Same reviewer signature.
Who does it say?
Sir Adventurer.
That cannot be a real name.
I've never met anyone named Sir Adventurer.
Maybe it's a title.
Then explain this. Sir Adventurer II. And this one. Sir Adventurer III.
You're joking.
I wish I were.
Several nearby customers had begun listening openly now.
I think I saw a review from someone named Definitely Not So Adventurer.
That seems suspicious.
That's what I thought.
Perhaps there is a large family involved.
Please do not encourage this.
Snooks chirped happily as more papers appeared on the table. To him, the investigation looked remarkably similar to a game.
The names aren't the only thing. Look at the handwriting.
Garrick leaned closer.
That's the same hand.
Every one of them?
Not everyone, but enough to concern me.
Patches stood and began carrying papers to an empty section of wall near the table.
What are you doing?
Organizing.
That tone usually means we're about to spend several hours solving a mystery.
Probably.
Using spare string, pins, and scraps of parchment, Patches began constructing an investigation board. Reviews were grouped by region, date, and reviewer name. Lines connected suspicious entries. More customers contributed copies of reviews they happened to have saved.
It is beautiful.
It is alarming.
Beautifully alarming.
Snooks watched the construction with growing excitement. His gaze followed every length of string.
Have you done this before?
Enough times to know when something doesn't add up.
So what does all this mean?
I'm not sure yet.
But you suspect there is more to the story.
Much more.
As the pile grew, a pattern slowly began to emerge. Certain names appeared repeatedly. Certain phrases surfaced over and over again. Entire groups of reviews seemed connected in ways that should not have been possible.
That can't be a coincidence.
I don't think it is.
Snooks had become increasingly fascinated by one particular strand of string running across the board. After several moments of staring, he climbed from his chair with surprising determination and waddled toward the wall.
Where do you think you're going?
Before anyone could stop him, Snooks grabbed the string with both paws and pulled. Several pinned reviews shifted position.
Wait.
What's wrong?
Those reviews weren't connected before.
Are they now?
Patches quickly examined them.
They all reference the same publishing office.
Publishing office?
The location where the reviews were submitted.
All three?
All three.
Patches stepped back and stared at the papers.
That's not luck.
What does it mean?
I don't know yet.
Fate Skuld smiled faintly.
Sometimes the smallest eyes notice what larger ones overlook.
Snooks proudly chirped, completely unaware that he might have uncovered the most important clue of the day.
Whatever is happening here, it isn't limited to one dungeon.
How big do you think this is?
Bigger than Garrick's ratings.
That's not reassuring.
It wasn't meant to be.
The investigation board now stretched across much of the wall, covered in reviews, notes, strings, and questions. What had begun as complaints about unfair ratings was rapidly turning into something far larger. And somewhere within that tangled web of reviews, someone appeared to be manipulating the system itself. The tavern had grown quieter as the weight of the investigation settled over the room. What had begun as a morning discussion over strange dungeon reviews had evolved into something far more unsettling. The wall was now covered in connected notes and overlapping strings, each thread pointing toward a pattern none of them had expected. Garrick sat forward in his chair, staring at the evidence as if hoping it would rearrange itself into something less alarming. Java leaned against the table, arms folded, while Nyved paced slowly behind him. Braticus stood with uncharacteristic silence, and Fate Skuld remained still, watching as though the answer was already written somewhere they had not yet looked. Snooks sat quietly in his treasure chest chair, unusually calm, his attention fixed on the wall of papers.
So let me get this straight. These reviews aren't just bad opinions.
No. They're coordinated.
Coordinated by whom?
That's what I don't know yet.
But someone is clearly pushing identical reviews across multiple dungeons.
Or something is.
A conspiracy of criticism. Fascinating.
Of course you find it fascinating.
Truth often begins as inconvenience.
So does nonsense.
Garrick rubbed his temples, staring at the wall of strings.
If this is true, then my dungeon wasn't reviewed fairly at all.
Not just yours.
Patches tapped several points on the board.
This pattern repeats across regions. Northern mines, eastern ruins, southern catacombs.
That's not just reputation damage. That's market manipulation.
People are making decisions about danger based on false information.
And avoiding experiences they may have valued.
The room fell quiet again as Fate's words settled over them.
So what do we do?
We trace it back.
We already have a lead.
Patches pointed to a cluster of connected strings converging on a single marked location.
Every path eventually leads here.
The publishing office.
The Dungeon Review Board's central office.
Of course there's a central office.
Snooks shifted in his chair, the only sound in the silence a soft rustle of fabric and wood. He leaned forward slightly, watching the board as if it were breathing. Then, slowly, he reached up and pointed toward one of the strings again.
He's doing it again.
Snooks don't.
Too late. Snooks tugged gently. One of the strings snapped loose from its pin and swung downward. Several connected notes shifted and rotated, revealing something none of them had noticed before.
Wait a moment.
What is it this time?
Patches stepped closer, eyes narrowing.
These weren't just random reviews.
What do you mean?
Look at the submission stamps.
Garrick leaned in. Nyved moved closer as well.
They're all processed through the same distribution channel.
The publishing office?
Not just the office. The same clerk initials on every batch.
That would suggest centralized control. Or corruption.
Or both.
A low murmur spread through the tavern as nearby customers began to realize the seriousness of what they were hearing.
Are you saying the reviews are fake?
I'm saying they're not independent.
Snooks sat back down, satisfied with his accidental contribution. He looked up at Java, then at the board again, then clapped softly as if the entire situation had been mildly entertaining.
I think we just went from tavern gossip to kingdom problem.
That escalated quickly.
It rarely escalates slowly when truth is involved.
Garrick stood from his chair, his earlier frustration replaced with something sharper.
If someone is manipulating dungeon ratings, they're destroying livelihoods.
And controlling which dungeons people choose to enter.
Which could influence entire trade routes, adventuring guilds, and regional economies.
So, in short, everything. Great.
Java exhaled slowly and looked at the wall of evidence one more time.
Then we go to the source.
Yes, to the publishing office.
Fate Skuld finally rose from her seat and adjusted her cloak.
Some doors open only when enough questions are asked in the right order.
Snooks made a small sound, reached up, and grabbed a loose scrap of parchment from the edge of the table. He held it up proudly, as if offering it to the group once more. On it was a single printed line from a review. 5 stars. Excellent experience. Would be reviewed again. Java took it, looked at it, then looked back at Snooks.
I don't know how you keep doing that.
Snooks chirped softly and leaned back in his chair, completely unaware that the real mystery had only just begun. The Dungeon Review Board was no longer just an annoyance. It was a system. And systems, once questioned, rarely stayed quiet. To be continued.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah! And maybe drop a comment. It's like getting something in the mail. Gotta love getting some mail from your friends, right?
Maybe they don't like us, Nyved. You shouldn't expect everyone to like us.
Not like us? Inconceivable. Who doesn't like a team as amazing as us? Or baby dragons at the very least.
We must let them decide. We can only play our part. And hope.
The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.